man stizaregi magilets kamahin madaboneza da kuitsinowat stizari bonaga idina boneza hani attegis man stihetkegi dat ma natural disasters madaboneza gidin duwesan ma pum bonaga mat oji godindos man hilisayegi fulla agan ma hanatsavilla man uskidat in wikida fikoneza da des ma gilsa gidindos ma hayuwe hanatsavilla man uskides ma hojifka ojigidan ma buyifikta ojigidan hilisayegi ma hanatsavilla in buyifikta pona yagova ma pumbonaga degosen gilsa gidindo ma stizaregi man hanatsavilla pumbonaga sabutin idi haladagi dos mundan ma pumbonaga sibigonoat hian agiletska punsungibathis.
For many indigenous peoples, disasters are related to ancestral spirits manifested in cyclical forces of nature over which our control is often limited.
My elders, when I was little, they talked about everything as a living being, the wind, the earth, the water. They used to tell me stories. It was a young man, and he was twisting like a tornado, and he came as a hurricane, and he destroyed the city. When the warrior was so mad that when they captured him, and they said they're going to kill the hurricane, the foreseer said, "You're not supposed to kill the hurricane. It's a natural spirit of the earth. The Creator had put him here. He is untouchable. You should not kill him." And everybody turned around and was leaving, but that warrior was so mad, he turned around and chopped his arm off. And that hurricane ran and got away, and they chased him to the edge of the earth, and they chased him into the water. They said, you know, he's only got one arm now. He's not as strong as he was. And when he heals, he will return with vengeance. And people are to know that. And then it's only today that he's been healed, and now he's coming back with vengeance. And that's what we got to remember, these type of things. That these spirits, our people controlled the weather. Our people asked the weather to do things for us. And that's why they are so violent. That's why they get so mean. There were tools of war between each other.
Human-made projects such as mining and energy plants may have similar consequences of natural disasters, provoking droughts, floods, people's displacement, and hunger. Many indigenous peoples understand that these kinds of human-generated disasters may upset the spirits of nature beings. The repercussions of these phenomena bring about damages to both indigenous and non-indigenous peoples.
Talk about how people cope with disasters. Many years ago, back in those days, a lot of that was coping by placement. In other words, they carefully chose where they were going to live to avoid those disasters if they happen, like fire.
All these trees that are here, they serve a purpose. I mean, they're not just here because, oh, we need some shade. They're also here because they'll cut the wind down, you know, and they'll bend with the wind and the hurricanes that you have here and things like that. And you start clear cutting this. What's cutting that wind down? Nothing. So you're out in the open.
My grandma, she knew all the names of the moons when they come around. She would say, this is the little berry moon. And when that comes up after winter, it shows a ring around the moon. And if it was big, then it was going to be a good summer. But if it was tight, close to the moon, then she say, we're going to have hurricanes this year that's going to hit us. And she knew these type of things by looking into the skies, looking into the stars. So there are things of nature which told us things are happening.
It is important to define indicators that will allow us to understand and manage disasters' impacts. These indicators need to be defined with local communities and spiritual leaders who understand the signs of nature and the important ecological elements to be assessed. The third stage of disaster management is represented by the house, symbolizing community, solidarity, and pillars. Mari temples and chikis can be spaces for dwelling, learning, doing ceremonies, and helping each other in hardship.
The village will help each other, and everybody cooks on one fire. Everybody helps each other. Everybody talks to each other. Everybody sees their kids, they talk to them, they spank them, they tell them not to do those things. They know each other. And when you lose that relationship in between each other, and you don't recognize each other, and you don't know whose kids those belong to, and you don't punish them for doing something bad, then you lose in touch with your family. And that's what has happened. When you move in a house, you live in an apartment, you don't know who's living next door. You don't say hi, you don't say hello. And that's where you go wrong, because they're the ones that's going to help you.
In Western science and policy, disciplines and market approaches tend to separate humans from nature and make decisions based only on economic indicators. Approaches for understanding, preparing, coping, and monitoring disasters need to be integrated into governance and development policies. Indigenous peoples have the right to be part of this dialogue.
Aqui, minister Tibe, o propõe que nelos em Yorichi lá saem tanaki Yorichi te. Ya na omek choli tsketong na ponitik. Silo ponchobe. Loli tsken popo tatela jare ka oba chak. Yolinsen. Yagna wili chek ka yolinsen. Naglap kan omek wili chipik ta batsken luglowa chek. Sima hitachik yolichak. Lugloa chame tonte. Hemenete tanaka Yorichi ya chibe. O propõe que atak. Ja, na chuli hitachik hilojen. Hitachik jolinchi shna tanaka kaponichi te chenet. Ile moski pamingitsken aportia pamingitsken hilojen tanaka na numik Yoricha me to ile tastachik Yorichi raija angrelie chenet heli pressa aqui. Naglab kapunta batska jabessa mado.
Tallatanir shamu maesh Tallatanir shamu maesh Ho Tallatanir shamu maesh Himiku